Voch Raboisai. Bas Mordechai. I almost said the whole thing in Hebrew. Raboisai instead. It's a little different. I want to introduce to you for the very, very first time. You're the first to hear about it. I didn't even know myself. I didn't even see the poster. Shabbos of His Achdus. His Achdus. We're taking the entire Royal Hotel in the Dead Sea. Entire thing. It's going to be an unbelievable Shabbos. Last time was amazing. It energized everybody's Ruchni's batteries, Gashmi's batteries. We don't have to do these things, but we do it to help the Olam, and it really is mechazik the Olam. People enjoyed it a lot. The women really enjoyed it. The wives, people were doubtful. Are the wives gonna? They loved it. They understood what it's all about. Suddenly, they chap. Bring them back. You bring them in. Now they understand what Daf Yomi is. Why you run to learn every day. So, get ready. Save the date.
I can do it. It's going to be good.
Migdal Ha'emek. You gonna bring your wife?
No, she was in America.
Okay. Yeah. So schlep her in. People coming in from America for this. A lot of people will be coming in. You'll see. We're not doing a Shabbaton for the Americans this year because of the Siyam Shas. So I don't think we are. So a lot of people will be coming in for this. Rabbi Yisai Migdal Ha'emek by Rabbi Grossman. There's a live satellite location. Another one every single day. There is a live shechita in Tom's River. It's a major MDY location, June 21st. It's not on the screen. Okay, it's a new guy there for the Motzei Shabbos. He's not used to it. Hey! He's the pro. That's why. You didn't want to. Mazel tov today, Sharfin. I'm Baruch Sanochas Tefillin on Friday. I didn't know you guys are Lubavitch.
No, it looks big. It's not big.
It's not? Look at that. Wow. Okay. One more.
Okay, one of the one side. This is for the MDY family.
Shouldn't say we don't show his videos. 2 in a week.
Slowly down with this. Talmud Chochem Bar Mitzvah Bocher, Monday is the Bar Mitzvah. He's been with MDYC Sanhedrin, and this is his brother, Yonason. Doing MDY? Future MDY. But this guy is a serious MDY. How many black? A couple of 100, his father says. So his father made a deal with him back in the day. Rebelli made a deal with him. Rebelli called him video in Utah. From Utah, yeah? He called him from Utah and said if he does 150 black, Rebelli is not paying for the ticket. He said his father should pay for the ticket. So we have to share that for Mitzvah Monday. We say Mazel Tov. And he did a couple of 100 bucks so he gets a shout out. And if he gets Hashem, Tati will take him to a live shir at his room.
It was a live shechita from the one and only Ron Weissfish in Manchester. It's very, very kedai to see something like this. Everybody here enjoyed it, and you'll see it over there live. He'll show you how to be boidik knives and everything. So even more than we had over here. We're going to go straight into the sponsors. The official edition of MDY Shas, the Masechta sponsored by Zevin Yal Sholof, the Perek, Ilan and Mary, Davidovici, Nishmas Yishai Ben Aaron and Yocheved Chava Itel Bas Avraham, Daf Nunal by David Kreinberg, and Nishmas Mordechai Simcha Ben Tzvi, Yehuda Sora Bas Avraham, Shekoyach David. The Masechta is sponsored by David Salomon, dedicated memory of Avimoy Reb Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zechron Levracha. The Palestine Family Foundation, gratitude to the consortium and the alliance and all they do support MDY. Anonymous, Atzlach Baruch and Zivigashmis, and thank you to Chief Benny. Shmuel and Avova Schuster for continuing Atzlach and Nachas from our children. Anonymous for complete refuah shlema and Arichas Yom and Talea Bas Esther, B'Yomin and Daniel Rosenfeld, Brios V'Simcha. Monthly sponsors Anonymous, the Nishmas, Yonatan Eitan Ben Mordechai Zeva Koyin Zechron Levracha. The Tzvi, the Nishmas Yonatan Eitan Ben Mordechai Zeva Koyin Zechron Levracha. By Ari Simon for Shtema of Imori Baruch Ben Miriam, Anonymous for Shtema for Rabbi Ruchen Ben Yehudas and Avram Shai Ben Slavet Dvora. Amen. Weekly sponsors, Spanish Shir sponsors in honor of the first 3 Bochum in the Mexican satellite location, Shmuel Yehuda Abramchik, Moshe Laniado, Yinon Greenberg, by Yaakov Weinstock, Mazel Tov on the marriage of Brianna to Uri Ostrin. May they build a Beit Nemon B'Yisrael. Daily sponsors Chaim Levitan, Dr. Chaim Levitan, Lili Nishmas, Rav Elio Shragat Tzvi Ben Chaim Doib Zechron Lebrocha, Hirsch Levitan on his 7th yard side in the Shom should have an Aliyah. Yana Wolf, Nishmas Imi Mirosi, Esther Chaya Bas Shmuel Eliezer, whose 53rd yard side is today. Hey Tammuz, Shaya Freilacher. In honor of my 365th day of Daf Yomi, thank you, Rebelli, and the entire MDYT. Mazel Tov to you. Mazel Tov. MDY Art for the month. Refuah Shleima Mordechai Ben Esther. The Refuah Hayela Daniel Zev Ben Hayela Tester. Rabbi Isai, we are holding like 20 lines, 18 lines from the bottom of Daf Nun Omid Beis. 18 lines. By the 2 dots, Rabbi Yehuda Omer B'Gdoila. So we know that in the Mishnah it says that if the keres, that's the first part of the stomach, the food goes into the keres. From there it moves on to the Beis HaKoisos, to the Hemses, and to the Keva. If there's a hole that's a mashu in the keres hapnimi, it's treif. If it's chitzoin, it has to be a tefach. Rabbi Yehuda says it depends. If it's gdoila or ktana, if it's a large animal, a small animal. Omer Rabbi Yom Bar Yefes, Omer Rabbi Elazar. Lo gdoila, gdoila mamish. It doesn't really mean a giant bull, v'lo ktana, ktana mamish, and a teeny tiny little sheep. Ela kol shenikra bo tevach v'lehava ruba. If the animal is so large that if you tear a tefach, we had maybe it's on the next daf. The point is, if the tear is that large, that if it tears a full tefach, it's not the roiv. That means its stomach is huge, more than 2 tefachim wide. Zui sheshanim g'doil tefach. So therefore, that is considered a g'doil. So it's not a giant animal. It can be any animal that a tefach is not the roiv. Ruba will have a tefach, but if you were able, you cut, there was a tear in the keres, that's a roiv, that's a majority of the keres, and that doesn't even add up to a tefach, that's a very small animal. So, zui sheshaninu b'ktana b'ruba. Okay, that's considered a ktana. What about ruba v'lo have a tefach? Pshita. If you have a roiv, you have a 51% tear, and it's not a full tefach, who cares? Throughout the Torah, roiv is what dictates. Ruba kikulai, 51% is like the entire thing. So who cares if there's no tefach? So Gemara says an interesting chiddush. L'tzrich to have a tefach b'mashu. Roiv is slightly less than a tefach. So you're already there. So no, push a little bit more. You'll get to the tefach, the share of the tefach. They have a treifa. So maybe in that case, interesting. No, it's already a roiv. You already have 51%. No. But because we have tefach as a shear, and you're already there, you're a centimeter away from a tefach, so maybe it needs to be ripped a little bit more to the tefach. Kamash will no. In that case, roiv dictates. You don't need a tefach. Omar Geniva Omar Rabasi. Who's that guy that watches the shir from Hungary? Black. No, Yossi Black. Black? No, I thought it's black, but they said it's black. Because there's a guy that watches every day, and it was his birthday, but it was his birthday. Kids, okay. If it's still your birthday, happy birthday. Shalom Aleichem. Said it in the Hebrew one. I don't know if he watches Hebrew in English, but I thought it's cool because he watches Hebrew, because it's Hungary. We have a guy that watches every single day in Hungary. Zog the Gemara. Omar Gniva, Omar Abasi. Nigdero Kesela Treifa. What if you have a hole in the, yeah, it is black. You have a hole in the keres the size of a sela. So in other words, it's a round hole. Treifa. Why? Take a look over here. If you stretch a circle, you can get it to be a tefach. Omer B'Chibur Abba. Huh? It's real. Scary. Guys, you don't understand something. I say it's real. Yesterday, his father drove him in for the morning shir. But then he drove him in for the Hebrew shir. Twice from Yerushalayim in one day. It's not a joke. The father of the year, no? No, that's what. Then he's going to drive him tomorrow to the airport to go to Austria. You're really going? You going? You got it. What's the trick? Is he Ben Yachid? What is this? How?
No, he's my youngest.
He's your youngest. You saw something. Wow. Okay. Geweldig. No, it's a limud haskell. You know, the kid wants to go. Okay, no problem. I'll drive you. You want to go again? I'll drive. In the same day to drive through Yerushalayim twice for Bnei Brak Yerushalayim. Erev Shabbos too. All right. Once I stopped, I was might as well say Shem Aleichem. What's your name?
Mr. Kuznets.
Okay, I know you from somewhere. Where?
You read my letter this week.
Where was it? Remind me.
Liquefacted necrosis.
Oh, so you live here?
Yeah, fine.
So I asked you to come, so you came. Shkoya. Gewaldig. But you look familiar.
I used to come.
That's what it is. Used to. That's. Don't tell me you were here for years.
5 years ago.
For how long did you come?
How long did I come from?
Really?
I used to sit next to the lady, then I started working.
Wow. You left a big Roshim. I don't know. Was it just, No, it's not. It's just, it's me. It's like not.
Why a giant?
Yeah. What's your name? From? Yerushalayim. And you came with this English fella? Yeah. You see, that doesn't really matter. He's been here for years. Wow. Okay. We'll get invited. Anybody else want to say something? What about you? I know you're here a bunch. No, not you're. Yeah, I know. Who else? You. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Ari Reeser.
From?
Washington Heights.
Shalom Aleichem. Davidi, Shalom Aleichem.
He brought Naftali Palachuk to the show.
Oh, really? Naftali Palachuk is coming to Austria, no?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Gewaldig. Gewaldig. Okay. It's going to be a matzav. Oh, what do you want to show us? Torah Anytime is here. What is this?
The plaque and the number of views from 2025.
Wow, 2025, 1,072,000. This is like a YouTube. What do they call it? YouTube. Yeah, this is better.
Yeah, it's better. It's better.
Total views, like 3 million views. So where do we hold? Where are we on the Torah Anytime?
Definitely top 10.
We're top 10?
Definitely top 10.
Really? Wow. Beautiful. Shkoya, thank you so much. Tell them thank you.
Who's
Okay,
top one? Who's number one?
I can't say that on camera.
We'll take you down.
I can't say that on camera live. Can't say that on camera.
Yavali, thank you. Thank you so much. Beautiful. It's a big. Dylan doesn't believe that we have a lot of views on Torah Anytime. They think it's only. So do the math. 3,000 a day? 1.72. Gewaldig. Okay, gewaldig. Yeah, what's your name? You're a new guy. From? Yerushalayim. Well, you brought somebody else last week, no? It was the same. It wasn't the same guy. It's somebody else. Cool. All right. Excellent. Huh? Well, we got to learn some Torah today. Okay. Who's in the back? Oh, that's right. You guys. Well, what's your name? All the way in the back with the little kid. The kid. Yeah, Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? ישראל, מה נשמע ישראל? אתה מדבר אנגלית? קצת. אחרי השיעור זה יהיה יותר אפילו. Okay, another guy, Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Yossi Vader.
From?
Monsignor.
Shalom Aleichem, V'Sel. And the guy next, this is going to take all night. Whoa, time out, we have a big guest here. Right behind you, we have Hillel. Hillel, Shalom Aleichem, Hillel. He hasn't been here in months. He comes to the Shabbos. What do you want to say? You want to say something?
I've seen you so much online. It's the first time here. I'm like shivering.
Oh, you hear that? Tell that to Eitan G. He doesn't. He lacks the shivering part.
Because it's cold in here.
It's cold in here.
Cold in here.
Yuval, if you're new here, I'll say hello to you soon. Let's just do another 5 lines. Okay. Wow. There's a Chassidish guy standing in the back, but he left already. Like, when are we going to get to the learning part? All right. I have no idea. Omar Rebbe Chia Barabba. We're still on Amud Beis, not on today's daf. I was right there. I was about to cross the water over there in Harda, and I remember where it was, and he told me, Kisela Kshera. It's not true. If it's this size, if it looks like, if it's the size of a sela, it's kosher. Yes, or Mikisela Treif. It's only when it's a little bit more. Like the Gemara is like so makbid over here. The Kamer Yeser, look. We're going into great detail over here. The Kami Yasmin Kasela, what does it mean? It's a little bit more than a Sela. Omer Rav Yosef, Kegoin. The island las Kashyosa Betzipa Beduchka. I mean, it is unbelievable. Two shiurim. If there are 3 date pits, but they have a little bit of meat on it, then it's hard to get it through. Beloy Tzipa Bravcha, and without the meat on it, it goes in easy. Here, take a look. We're not this one. This one. The one on the left doesn't have any meat on it. It's clean. So then it goes in. This is bedoichak. Okay. So that's more than a sela. When it goes in like that, it's more than a sela. Next sugya, as usual, we're flying through sugyas. Hemses ubeis hakaisos. The Mishnah says if there's a hole in the hemses ubeis hakaisos, there was a beautiful thing that Yoshi did, and I unfortunately, oy vey. I put in the next year. It looks like a cow, and there's a bunch of things. It says it's like a nice looking cow. It's like 6 slides. I threw it into Nun Gimel, so I forgot to show it, but I could show it here. Huh? In Nun Beis. Yeah, Nun Beis. Anyways, let me just show you meanwhile what Hem says, Beis HaKaisis. You see, these are the 2 things I was holding in my hand. This is the close-up of it with a nail in there. So check this out. We even had a little bit of the sugya. There's a needle that the Beis HaKaisos, that's the second part of the stomach, and it makes little cud. It makes like little balls out of the grass, the size of those honeycomb devices. Kaisos, mamish kaisos, little cups, and then it shoots it back out through the esophagus back to the cow's mouth or the sheep's mouth, and then it re-chews it. Chews its cud. That's why it's called cud, like kaisos, I think. Anyway, so this Beis HaKaisos has 2 layers, as you can see over here. This looks like 6, but just pretend it's 2. So you find the needle in the Beis HaKaisos, and it punctured 1 out of the 2 walls. Where's that guy from Torah Anytime? He left already? No, not yet. Okay, I forgot. I want to say thank you to him and his boss and everybody. Okay. I went through and through. It's no good. Here you go. Take a look at this video a little bit. Oh. So if it stops there, kosher. If it went through, then it's treif. If you find a little bit of blood on the needle, then you know that because the animal's not going to bleed after it dies, it bleeds before. So if it has like a stain of blood, this must have happened before it died. And memela what? Memela, it is treif. If you don't see any blood in it, so this happened after Shechita. By the way, this is 50 daf into Chullin. It's crazy. 50 daf ago we started. It's because we go slow, 1 daf at a time, and it adds up tremendously and very, very quickly. Higlit piyamaka. If the wound already has, how do you say higlit in English? Scab. You have a scab on the wound. How do you have a scab? It takes time for it to scab up. Then you should know that this happened 3 days before the shechita. So again, you open up the Beis HaKaisos. You find a needle. You find a scab. you know that this happened before you bought it. So if it happened before you bought it, it's a mekach tos, get your money back. In other words, you see from here an interesting idea that if you purchase a car, and the owner of the car that sold it to you, he had no clue that there was something wrong in the engine, whatever. You go to the guy, the mechanic tells you this was there a month ago. I said, but I didn't know. I sold it to you and I didn't know. You didn't know, so it's your problem. No. If the problem is pre-existing, it's a mekach tos. You get your money back. But if there's no scab, then the buyer has to prove when it happened. Since he can't really prove it, he's stuck with the treif animal. As the Gemara, how come we have all these different nikavim, little holes in different organs, and then test and this, and it's all treif, and there's no needle. There's no blood, and it's treif. How come by a needle you need blood? There's nothing for the blood to catch onto. When you have a piece of metal, then you have good reason to ask the question, why is there no blood on this? And if there is blood, that's your indication. If this wound occurred before the shechita, it would have had some blood on it. So now we have a story. Oh, you should know, Abaya, there's a big Talmud Chacham that came from Eretz Yisrael. And he even said his name is Rav Avira. According to some opinions in the sugya, if you read it the way it is, comes out that Rav Avira is hundreds of years old. Why? Because he's going to say a story. V'amar maisu bolefnei Rebbe. A story happened in front of Rebbe. Now, Rebbe was a Tana. From the last Tanaim, he wrote the Mishnah. Abaya is an Amayra, like the fourth generation Amayra. So how did Rav Avira see Abaya and talk to Abaya? He must have been very old. What's the story? There is a needle that was found in the Beis HaKosos, literally this picture. And Rebbe said it's treif, even though it didn't go through and through. And the Brisa says that it's kosher, because it went through one wall, not both, kosher. So we got a big problem here. Rebbe says that it's treif. Abai couldn't believe his ears. Abai knows the Brisa. Abai knows that this is kosher. How in the world could Rav Avira say that it's treif? Shalach lei. So he says, Rav Avira, I want to meet you. Tell me the story. Lo yasel gabei, 5 timan. No way, I'm not coming. Also, little gabei, you know what? I got to figure this out. This is Torah. This doesn't make any sense. I'm going to go to you. So he goes to him. Havakoya Igara, Rav Avira's on the roof. Omar, I already came. I made the whole trip here. Neichus mar v'neisi. I want you to come down and tell me what happened. Loi nachas. Not very nice. He didn't come down. So he went up there. So tell me what happened. So over here he says Rebbe Rabba. He doesn't say Rebbe. He says Rebbe Rabba. Rashi says Rebbe Rabba means Rabbeinu HaKadosh Rebbe Yehuda Anasi. It's talking about Rebbe. Others say no, it's not. It can't be Rebbe. Rebbe, and the fact is, it doesn't say Rebbe. Throughout Shas it says Rebbe. Calls him Rebbe Rabba. Rebbe Rabba means a great Rav, a big Gadol Hador, but not Rebbe that we know of. Okay, so that's where. So the other week when I was by Rabbi Yankiv Friedman, so there's a bacher in the house, and he told us that Rabbi Yankiv Friedman, the Yeshiva, he started the whole Tifrach. He bought Tifrach. He built the Yeshiva in Tifrach. Oh, he's a big honor. It's Rabbi. He gave the whole thing to Rabbi Yezer Piltz, but he's considered a yeshiva over there. He built many yeshivas. There's a lot of yeshivas in Israel that he started. One of them was the yeshiva that I went to, which was Tifrach, but for the Yeshiva Tana. And so, again, when I went to the Yeshiva Tana, I had the schus of sleeping in his house for a few months. But anyway, we're there, and a bacher says, shows us a list. Me and Benny, long list. It says 8 o'clock, 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, 9 o'clock, and just keeps on going. Basically, every 15 minutes, he gives another shir to another group of bachrim, and it's always another sefer. Goes from this to that, like Chavis Alvavis to that one to this one. I don't know, all these farm. So I asked him, I said, like, how do you get these guys in and out? It's like 30 per share, you know? He says, getting them in is not the problem. It's getting them out. It's like this year right now, Motzei Shabbos, getting you guys out so the Israelis can come in is the issue. Why am I saying this? Because it says in Rashi, he was mafter knesiyos. He was in charge of getting people in and getting people out. Like, why do you have to get people out of base measures? I don't know. There's something that they had to get people out of base measures. So I worked over there. I was the guy getting people in and out. We had these two gdolim sitting from the Rebbe. This story came to Rebbe. This, where you have the needle in the Beis HaKosos only through one of the membranes. And Rebbe turns it over. First he sees the needle inside, okay. Then he looks on the outside. Exactly where that needle is sticking, on the other side of it, when you look, it's nice and smooth. There's no exit wound. But there's a bunch of blood. Where did the blood come from? This is a animal, and if you're at the shechita, and I recommend if you are to go to Revice Fish and wherever you are around the world, go to the shechita. It's an amazing thing. Maybe don't go for the shechita part. You don't need the shechita part, but go for the rest of it. How they open it up and bring nose plugs. So everything is sterile. Everything is perfect. Everything fits in there. There's no blood squishing around. Everything is in pipes. The blood goes around and it's clean. Everything is clean. So how did I find blood on the other side of the Beis HaKosos? We saw the Beis HaKosos. It's clean. It's just Beis HaKosos, Hemsis, this, Keva. There's no blood over there. If you see a stain of blood on the other side where the needle was in the inside, obviously the needle poked through once upon a time, went back, it healed up, and now you don't know. But there's blood. That's a perfect indication that there was an exit wound. Says Rebbe, that's why it's treif. Omar lei, and Rashi takes out, if you have it in your Gemara, Torah Tarye, Rashi's Goris, Torach Tarche. Torach Tarche lau gavra, what are you, crazy? You made me come all the way here and climb up all these stairs to hear this? I don't need that. This is obvious. Masnisani, that's in the Mishnah. It says if there's a puncture wound through and through in the Beis HaKosos or the Hemsis, then it's strafe. And this obviously there's a puncture wound through and through. I thought you come to my city, you tell me Rebbe said that if there's a needle in one of the membranes and not in two, it's strafe. I couldn't believe it. I know the Brisa says that's kosher. You just added something. Shkoyach. Just a little minor detail. Shkoyach. There's blood on the other side. Why didn't you say that to begin with? If you would have said blood, you would have saved me this whole thing. A bunch of years ago, I don't know, over 40 years ago, I was walking around the Bnei Brak on Purim, and all of a sudden there's a commotion. People are running towards me, and they're screaming, "Catch this guy! Catch him! Catch him!" There's a young fellow running for his life. I thought he's a murderer. I thought he murdered somebody. I don't know what. Like, they were like, "Catch the guy! Catch him!" So I as he passed by, I just stuck out my foot just a little bit. It's not, I feel bad. I mean, if anybody knows this guy, let me know. He goes flying, and these guys catch him. And they start beating him up. They beat him up. They broke his front teeth. They punch him in the head. They punch him over and over. And then finally they're done. I asked them, what happened? What did he do? What did he do? He sprayed some girls with a spray, like a snow spray. Oh. That's why he tripped this guy? And that's why you bashed his face in? Are you serious? I couldn't believe it. I feel bad Adayim Azeh. That was part of that. The Reb Nachman in Breslov says, the Mamish Tismaisa, he says there was a guy, he had his hand like this, clawed, they ran after him. They said, "What do you have in your hand?" They're running, he's running through the hole. They finally caught him. And they caught him and they opened up his hand, there's nothing in there. And then he started running again. So, he's probably in his other hand. So they chased him, they found him, and they opened up his hand, there's nothing there. So he says that the mashal is, That's the Yitzhara. He tells you that taiva, go over there. It's unbelievable. You go. You go over there. That's it. That was it. That was all. Yeah. No. That one over there. And your whole life you're running from here to there. It's all empty. And then you get there, it's garnished. Zok the Gemara. Seriously, we have to find that guy. I should say the story in Hebrew a little bit better because I was embarrassed to say that I tripped him. I said I have to tell the real story. Maybe the guy, I'll be able to speak to the guy. It might have been my fault. I got beat up. Zog the Gemara. Man, it was the way they were screaming and running. I literally thought he murdered somebody. Gotcha, it's Vasuto! Screaming, and 10 guys running. And this guy's running for his life. You know what I'm talking about? Those snow things he sprayed. Should have sprayed it. Okay, I'm not saying he did a nice thing, but to get beat up.
Girls in B'nai Brak.
They had to beat somebody up. They should have beat them up. All right, Rabbi said, Nafla min Agag. If an animal falls off a roof, it's called a nefula. We're concerned that its limbs are broken, something inside is ruptured. You put your animal, you have a goat, you put it on top of a roof, and you come back and you find it on the bottom. How did it get there? It fell off the roof. It's not a problem. Nothing is fashmettered in there. Oh, Maisa. There's a story with the goat. The Havilei Ravina, when I moved here to this neighborhood, I should have known something's wrong here. There's a guy that davens in this space marriage once in a while, walking around with a goat. And on a leash. So I'm like, Rabbi Yid, what's going on? He's like, what's going on? My kid wants a dog. I'm not getting a dog, so I got a goat.
Take care of his kid.
He goes into, yeah. So, the Havilei Ravina, the Chazak Chushla Bipuma. He saw, really, he couldn't hold himself back. He's on the roof, and he looks through the skylight, and he sees like Geshmaka barley. Dogar Nofal Migar Lara. So he jumped off, and he falls to the ground, and he's laying there on the ground, and they decide, okay, it's a good time to shecht him, because otherwise, the guy, he might not survive. As they come to Rav Ashi. So they come to Rav Ashi, Amalei. Here we even have a little bit of a video of how this happened. It's like not a hot. The skylight is a little off over there, but. All right. So he had an issue getting up, because had he gotten up, it's meduyik, this video, because if he would have got up, that's a right that he's not a nefula. There's no risuk evarim. He's sitting on the ground like that. So it's interesting. Why? Because he didn't fall. He jumped. Is jumping different than falling? This that we said that if you leave an animal on a roof and you come back and he's on the bottom, we're not concerned. That's because an animal, if you ever look at a cat jumping off like a high fence. So it puts his paws down on the wall and slow, and then it jumps. Over here, it jumped through the skylight. There's nothing for it to catch on. If it's using the wall as some sort of a brace / it slows down the fall. Okay, but over here, v'hai lesli midi lemisrach. Over here, there's nothing for it to catch on. It was a complete fall. Dilmar, on the other hand, you could say mishum da'am denafsha. An animal is good at checking distance. We once babysat my friend's kid. And my wife told me, it's weird. This kid got on a chair, jumped off. Got on a table, jumped off. There was I think something's wrong. We should tell the parents that there's something wrong. And sure enough, there was something very wrong with this kid. It's natural for a kid to be able to gauge distance. And an animal, certainly an animal. If an animal jumped off a roof, don't worry about it. You've probably seen cats jump 2, 3 stories, 4 stories sometimes. Always landing. There's a whole scientific thing how they land on their feet. They twist their front and then they twist the back. And then once we're talking about that, of course we have to go into the sugya. Why is it every time a piece of toast with butter always falls on the butter side? So they actually did. I once saw a whole thing. They did a whole research about it, and they claimed it's because the butter adds a little weight to that side of the bread. But and v'haraya that if it falls from a higher distance, then it'll fall tack on the other side. If it doesn't complete, go believe this stuff. Let's see how many inyanim. Okay, whatever. I'm not going to go there. L'chaim. Wish I put this. Came a little. Okay. Wow. Can't take this for granted. On one site, Torah Anytime. Over 1 million views in 1 year. It's unbelievable. Gewaldig. Okay. They don't pay out like YouTube does, huh?
No royalties.
No royalties. Nitzchis. Just this week, just today, Avi Kamiansky's son asked me if I got one of those YouTube things. Like he was explaining to me, if there are 1 million views, but you have to have 100,000 subscribers. We're getting there too. Okay, one day we'll put it next to the Torah Anytime, the YouTube thing. It's cool. Zog the Gemara. No, animal has the ability to gauge distance, and don't worry about it. It jumped off the roof and knows what it's doing. It's not a treifa. There was a sheep. Now, if you were to see a sheep dragging its rear legs, just the front work, the back don't work. What does that indicate to you? Huh? No. Two. Oh. Spinal cord injury. That's the first thing that I because I've seen a few videos of even human beings. They got people that got shot. For instance, they start crawling on their hands, and the legs are just like they don't do much. That's what's going on over here. This animal is dragging. It's just using its front. The two back legs are not working. So is it treif? You know, it has a bad what do they call it when you're swimming and you have that attack, cramp, a muscle cramp on both legs. It doesn't want to use its back legs. Doesn't know what?
Rashi says cramp.
Yeah, I love it. Krampe, I have it here. Krampe, I have it underlined even. Here, look. You want to see my Gemara? Could you zoom in? It doesn't matter. Okay, fine. Here, you tell them if it says over here. Confirmed. All right, Zog the Gemara. So, Krampe. Always like that. It's not as good as stomach. Stomach's not bad. Zog the Gemara. Fine. So that's a cramp. So says the Gemara, I'm no doctor, but I think maybe it's worse than just a cramp. It might have a severed spinal cord. But they actually opened it up and they saw that Ravina's right. The problem with the spinal cord. Says Gemara, we're not concerned about a spinal cord injury. We think it's a cramp. Because it's much more common. And we're going to see, maybe tomorrow even, that when it comes to treifas, we're very into what's a roiv, what's shchiach, it's not so common to have a chudash shedra injury. If you go to any Israeli cheder, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Two males beating each other up. Something like this.
If an ibex loses its balance, it can fall from great heights and suffer serious injuries or even death.
This fell 6,000 feet, this guy. So you have two males fighting, and one gets thrown to the ground. I mean, this guy that fell off the 6,000-foot cliff is a little bit of a risuk. Maybe some of his ivarim got merusuk, but we're talking about just, in the ring, and he falls down. It's not a big deal. He's screaming in pain. He's crying. It's a little hot in here. It's a little. There's a bunch. It's the heat that's causing it.
Walk it up.
Yeah. Enough la'ara, but it falls to the ground. Vadi chayshinan. Oh, we even have a shtickle video for that too. No, because no, you have to understand. It might be the heat that caused it.
And the fight begins.
Boy, Faye, what a beating! It looks to me like he crushed your internal organs.
What are you talking about? The air conditioning in this arena is just terrible. The heat is what wiped me out. Nothing more than that.
Nonsense! According to Toyarak, the moment you hit the floor, we have reason to be concerned.
You enjoying? All right. Givaldik. All right. Those yeshiva guys in the back don't know what to do with themselves. All right. What's going on, guys? Where are you from? We're doing shout out. תגיד להם שהם צריכים להגיד לי איך קוראים להם. The Yerushalmi. Listen, if the Yerushalmi guy comes to the show, you guys could also. What's your name? No, you standing over there. What's your name? From? What yeshiva did you go to? Prager's. You know my cousin Zellinger? You don't know Zellinger? You know him. Tell him Shalom. He was here. He davened there today. So you're also from Prager's, the one behind you, and behind you. Shalom Aleichem. Okay, Givaldik. Shkoyach Shalom Aleichem. Who else didn't I say hello? I said hello to a bunch of people. I said I'm going to say who else? No, he's not new. He's old. What? You're not talking about Yisrael, I hope. Yeah. Okay. Who? Oh, in the last table. All right, we'll go weiter. They don't want to say hello. Says Gemara Rav Menashi. Also, the Israelis are coming in 1 minute, so we got to do a whole Amid in a minute and a half. These sheep that they steal sheep. What do they do here in Eretz Yisrael? They do this. It's Ma'aser Chol Yom up north. They're constantly stealing cows and sheep. You jump into a pen, and you take the sheep, you throw them over the fence, and then you yourself jump over the fence and you take them home. But when you throw them over the fence, they might have risik ivarim. They fell from more than 10 tefachim. It's not a problem. My ta'imak yishadalu, when you throw them, amasnayu yishadalu. You throw them on the stomach like because you want them to be able to. You don't want to schlep a sheep all the way home. You want him to walk. So therefore, you make sure that he falls correctly. Hadrinu, but if you put him back, you see the cops coming, so you throw back into the pen. Vali chayshinan, then you have to be concerned that you just threw it, you tossed it on its head. That's because you saw the police coming. If a person wants to do tshuva and he put it back into the pen, obviously he doesn't want to ruin the animal, he's trying to do tshuva here, so he puts him back on its feet. I said on feet, but it means on its stomach versus on its back. We're not going to get into it. So for this we have a picture because it's hard to understand one shot. If you hit an animal, all this I asked Yoshi to do Erev Shabbos, mamish half hour before shir. So if you hit an animal with a whip, but it hits its entire length of the body, we're not concerned that you broke some of its bones. Or it's a whip. So if first you hit the head and then it eventually hits but it's one motion and it takes every part of the body, the length of the body, it takes part of the whip, of the power of the whip, of the force of the whip, so it didn't break any bones. If you start from the back and you get to the head, if it's the entire spine, it's not a problem. And if it's a smaller whip and it only hit half the body, we are concerned. It's like a nefula, like you broke its bones. Beautiful. Look at this picture. If the whip is more like a stick and it has a bunch of knots in it, so now different parts of the stick hit different parts of the animal. It's not even. You're not evening out the entire power of the force of the stick. So now you have to be choishish for risik evarim. If you hit it on the width of the animal, not on the length, also you have to be concerned that you broke some of its bones. An animal that's born goes through a lot of trauma. You can ask my kids. My daughter tells me how much trauma childbirth is. and that you have to work a whole lifetime to get. It's all Narishkeit. Healing, whatever. The actual childbirth is painful for the animal, and maybe it broke some of its bones. Maybe you should be concerned, broke its bones. You don't have to worry about it. And have proof. Ziva is a certain liquid that comes out of the body comes from, it's like a disease. And if it comes because you have a good reason why it came, you traveled, you're sick, then that's not Ziva. Ziva means it comes because of the Ziva. Now, if a 1-day-old could be Tomei with Ziva, what does that tell us? That it doesn't have Risa Kivarim, because it has a very good excuse. It just went through all this trauma, so to speak, childbirth. So that's why it has Ziva. And that kind of Ziva is not a Ziva. It's trying to make him Tomei. It says in the Torah, that's come from the flesh and not because of some sort of side reason. Childbirth should be a real side reason. Elamai, childbirth is not a big deal. No, not a raya, because maybe this 1-day-old that has Ziva is because he's born with a C-section. Okay, so this is just a build-up to the checkmate, to the end of the sugya. Tashma, another raya. Egel shenoil b'yontev, shechet enoisa b'yontev. A calf that was born on yontev, you could check it that day. Now, if it's in a fula, if it has risa kevarim, you shouldn't be able to check it that day. Why? Risa kevarim, you have to wait at least 24 hours. How can you check it that day? Another problem is, this is just a pun, we should say. Noilad. If it's born on but it's not noilad. Why? Because it's ready to be eaten. Even before Yontav, it's ready to be eaten through its mother. You can check its mother. So once again, I'm going to answer that the reason why you could eat it and check it right away is because it doesn't have Risa Kivarim, because it was born through a C-section. Toshma. Again, we want to prove, is childbirth something that will cause... Look, in fact, we spoke about it, the skull folds. That's why you have the soft spots. How many soft spots are there on a skull? Anybody know? Doctor, how many soft spots? 2. Very good. You listen to the shear. No, I'm just kidding. It has, a baby has 2. Everybody's familiar with the one, the same exact one, the same size. You have to be very careful in the back. Why? Because otherwise it wouldn't be able to be born. That's like kind of squeeze, fold. So isn't that like a Risa Kevarim kind of thing? Toshma, Egel Shenoil B'yonta. No, sorry. Toshma, V'shavim Shim Noila. We're holding like 6 lines from the top. V'shavim Shim Noila. We're talking about a Bechar. Now, in the time of Beis HaMikdash, a firstborn, you bring it to the Beis HaMikdash and you shecht it, you eat it. In our days, you give the firstborn to the kohen. How could he eat it? There's no mizbeach. So you wait until it befalls a mum. V'shavim Shim Noilad hu mum imoy. How convenient. It was born with a mum. Beautiful. Now you can get to eat it. Shezevin amuchan. You're allowed to eat it right then and there. So how can you eat it that day? It has Risa Kevarim. So you see from here that there's no Risa Kevarim from childborn. But this is where the Gemara wanted to go to. Over here you can't answer that this animal was born with a C-section. Why? You can't say that. Then it wouldn't be a Bechar. A Bechar is only natural birth, not from a C-section. It wouldn't have Kedusha. That has no Kedusha. So says Gemara, you're right. The reason I'm allowed to eat it, it tried to stand up, and Memela, that's why it proves. Typically, you have Risa Kevarim from childbirth, but if you're able to prove that you don't have Risa Kevarim, how? By trying to stand up, then you don't have Risa Kevarim. But childbirth might, yes, cause Risa Kevarim. I don't know. Yes, sponsor. Turning the Daf, sponsored by Dar Global, the official non-corporate sponsor of the MDY League. Encore Healthcare as a schus for all of Klal Yisrael. Amen. They'll take an animal, put him on like a table or something, and then push him off so that he falls on his back, and then you can shecht him. You can't shecht an animal that's standing up, and it's very dangerous. That's not considered Risa Kevarim. Ahu Taira the Nafal, there was a bull that fell. You heard him groaning and screaming. He bought the best of the best meat to show that's not a treifa. We also had him also in a different daf, like 20 days ago, that he bought the best of the best meat. How do you know this? As he's falling off the table, he knows how to balance himself that he doesn't get banged up, and he uses he digs his nails into the table, and he's fine. If an animal stands up, you don't even have to wait 24 hours. You're allowed to shecht it, but afterwards you have to check the spine, the ribs, make sure that he doesn't have anything broken. But if it walks, you don't need a bdika. You do need a bdika. If it just stuck its hand down, wanted to stand, or so didn't want to walk, so that's considered like walking. So I just want to tell you like this, that a zebra could stand up. Let's take a human being. Your kids, how old were they when they stood up and started walking? Huh?
8 months, 10 months.
What 8 months? You don't have a kid that walked at 8 months. 9. You have a 9-month-old. That's a big chiddush. That's a chiddush. It's about a year. You have an Eloi. Okay. I have whatever. I know some people like that. 9. I know somebody that's 6 months. But unless my mother was a liar, whatever. We're not going to go there. A zebra, 10 minutes. 10 minutes stands up and starts walking. 30 minutes is running as fast as his mother. It's not normal. Here, I got to show you. This thing was just born. You can see the placenta around its leg. And it has to, because if it doesn't, it's going to get eaten. Huh? Because there's lines everywhere. You were there, you know. Has to be able to run, has to walk. Anyway, so this is not a nefula. This has no risk environment, this animal. Protecting. Okay, gewaltig. It's crazy. Minutes after it's born. No, human beings, we're like the slowest of the slow when it comes to this stuff. Then it knows how to nurse by itself, it knows how to this, all within a minute. Starts eating. The mother is busy eating a suda. Just gave birth, it's busy eating. Ignores the baby completely. Okay, fine, that's a behema. Zog the Gemara. Why is it? There was another video. I didn't want to show this one because I didn't like it, whatever. The near is when, you know how like when a dog shakes itself really, really fast. The Gemara talks about that in a second. So, wow, we got to finish up because the Israelis are here. They warrior, they went home. Here we go. So if it just shook itself up to stand up, even though it didn't stand, they take this line out because it's just the poskim of later generations, not part of the Amirayim, but we'll say it anyway. The halacha is, if an animal falls off a roof not knowing, so that's a real rizik evarim, because it didn't have Amda, didn't like see how far it's falling. Va'amda with the ayin, the first amda is with the aleph. Va'amda, and it stood up. V'loy halcha, and didn't walk. Tzricha b'dika. You need to check it to make sure its spine didn't break, its ribs, but you don't have to wait 24 hours. But if it didn't walk, I feel the b'dika nami like tzricha. Fine, we'll stop over here. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful week, a wonderful day. Shkoyach for coming. A good Voch.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.